Guys, hi Zena. I want to cry. Oh, I feel so bad. Oh, it's downstairs. I was like, what happened to the towel? I feel so bad for Gwen. Poor baby. She's just so stuffed up and just so miserable, and she's just like sucking on her fingers and trying to breathe and just crying and looks just so sad. And it's just, I'm not trying to laugh. I'm not somebody that just like naturally cries at these things, but it's super sad because she's miserable, and I've tried everything that I know to do, and she ate a little bit. It wasn't that she completely wasn't able to eat, so that's good. She ate earlier. She woke up at like 2 something. I don't know if that's a sleep regression thing, or like as far as her almost being 4 months, or if that's related to her cold. Maybe both. I've been thinking it's the cold, but it could be the sleep regression thing. But what are you doing, Zena? Making noise. But I do have. I'm getting texts because there's also another situation going on, which I'll be about in a minute. But put that over there. What was I saying? But oh yeah, I do have a doctor's appointment for her. I called her doctor this morning. I didn't talk to him, but I talked to like the receptionist person. And he doesn't have an opening today. Brett, I think I said something last night that Brett wanted me to get her into the doctor today. And I planned on calling anyway, but even if I hadn't planned on calling, I probably would have called because of how she's been this morning. But her doctor didn't have any openings today, but the ladies asked if I was willing to have her go like be seen by somebody else, and I was like, oh yeah, yeah, that's fine. I mean, technically I prefer her doctor, but because that's who knows her and stuff for the little bit of time that she's been here. But I just want her to get better. I feel so bad that she's like having problems breathing, and the cough doesn't bother me too much if it was just the cough, but it's not. The breathing thing is bothering me. It's really been bothering Brett the last couple days, and I just feel so bad that she's not feeling well and that she's just having so much trouble. But anyway, they got me in at 9:30. It's 8:43 now. They called me like right at 8 o'clock, which is really nice. I called it like 7 something, but I don't think they got in till 8. So I'm really glad that they called me like right at 8, and they were able to get me in with somebody today. Get her in with somebody, because this poor baby, I just feel so bad for her. She just keeps, I feel like the way I'm saying this sounds fake. Like as I'm saying, I feel like it sounds fake, but I promise you, I do just really feel bad for her. She's just like breathing and just kind of like staring, just like almost at nothing, and she's moving and stuff, but like the staring kind of scares me, and then she'll just kind of like give a really like pitiful look and a pitiful cry, and I'm just like, baby. So we're gonna go to the doctor today in less than an hour is the plan. Yeah, so I'll let you know how that goes. Hey guys, I'm not gonna sit down as I speak. Trying to set down my little bag for my camera. So we got like all the medicine over here, and then like that pen was trying to fall down. But anyway, I got my breakfast this morning. So I just wanted to update you while I'm eating breakfast. I'm gonna have to go up in probably like 15-20 minutes. So I probably won't make this too long because I still want to finish eating and drinking my coffee. I never got to finish my coffee yesterday. But anyway, I don't even... Did I vlog before I left? I think I did. Yeah. But I don't think I ever vlogged afterwards, because, well, as soon as I got back here, I was doing stuff, I'll tell you in a minute, and like doing stuff for Gwen and trying to eat, and then I thought about it a couple times, about vlogging a couple times in the evening, but was doing different stuff. And then when Gwen went to bed, when I finally got her in bed, but then I totally forgot about vlogging. I was like, I could upload a video, maybe I'll just wait till tomorrow. I totally forgot that I wanted to update you guys. So let me tell you what happened. I mean, it's not really funny. It was just like a lot longer of a day, medical wise, than what I had planned for, what I thought I was going to have. So, I went to the appointment, and we were there till like a little after 11. So we went there at like 9:30. Well, actually, I got in there, and I think I told you I was seeing a different doctor than her usual doctor, because he didn't have room, but I really wanted to get her in, so I took her, and checked in the same spot. Like, I checked in, like registered or whatever for the day, or whatever you call it, I don't know, like the registry area before you go to the office thing. So I went there, and they're like, okay, go to the usual spot, but they'll tell you where to go from there. And I was like, okay. So I went to where her doctor is, because that's like the first little office waiting area you come up to, in the little hospital doctor area. It wasn't just like one little doctor area. It was like a, what's it called? I don't know. Anyway, there were a few offices in there. So I went to that area, and they're like, okay, just go down the hallway, and it's down there. And I couldn't even remember what the person she was seeing's name was. I think it was Jolie, maybe, but I didn't remember that at the time. So we went down the hall. I went down a hallway that I saw, sat there. I sat down around like 9:17. The appointment's at 9:30. Sat there for a while. Got to be like 9:43 or something. I was like, well, maybe I should like check just to make sure I'm in the right area. Sometimes, like, I've experienced like being like a half hour, being called back like a half hour after your appointment. Like at my OB office, that's happened to me before. I think like a half hour. But I wanted to make sure that was the case. So I went up to like the areas I was in. There were actually like several different like offices, but it was like one big like office, but the chairs were kind of arranged to like, these chairs are for this office, these are for this office. One big room, but like several offices around that you could go through the doors. So I went up to one of them, what looked like maybe the main one in that area, and asked about it, and they're like, long story short, they're like, oh, you want peds? And I was like, well, blah blah blah, I usually go to this person, and they told me to go down the hallway. They're like, oh yeah, but there's 2 hallways. And I was like, oh, okay. So then she showed me where that was, because she's a nice lady. And so I got down the right hallway, I sat down, and was hoping they'd still come out, because I was like, man, I'm like back here like 15-20 minutes later than what I'm supposed to be, so hopefully they'll keep checking to make sure I'm out here and not just assume that I'm not. Otherwise I'll have to like go and ask about it or something and see, like, let them know that I am here. But maybe 5 or 10 minutes later, a lady did come out, a girl, like a nurse person, and it's like, is there a Gwen out here? And I was like, yes. And then I told her, I was like, I'm sorry, I went to the wrong area. But anyway, they checked me. No, they checked Gwen. They put a thing on her toe that like checked her oxygen levels or whatever. They listened to like her breathing and stuff. And she ended up having 2 breathing treatments there. 4 different people, I don't know what their titles are, but 4 different people at different points, not all of them at once, but came into the room, checked things, and told me things. Told me what they were checking for and how things were going or whatever. She's in there with me, but like, on this like thing that's monitoring her toe and the breathing treatment and stuff, and the stethoscope situate, like checking her chest and all that. They were kind of updating me, and yeah, 4 different people came in. 3 of them were girls. 1 of them was a guy, and the guy told me that she had bronchiolitis. I had heard of bronchitis, and Brett actually like asked me about it when I first told him too. So I thought maybe I'd heard him wrong, and Brett thought he'd heard me wrong the first time I said it. But bronchiolitis, which is some kind of coughing respiratory situation. In the end, after the second breathing treatment, it's like 7 minutes long now. After the second breathing treatment, the lady, I think the main person, there was a lady that was checking her and stuff, said that she still wasn't really happy with the numbers. So all these numbers related to Gwen when I was pregnant, now, all the numbers. Anyway, so she still wasn't completely happy with the numbers. They wanted to be like 90, like close to 95 or 95 and above type thing, preferably. Definitely don't like below 90. But it was still kind of hovering around that 90 area. So they had me go to the hospital, to like the emergency room, which I'm starting to like change my stigma. I think that's the right word about the emergency room, because I think of emergency room as like emergency, like 911. The reason you are dying. That's what I think of. I mean, it is important that she gets something get taken care of and stuff quickly, but I think of emergency room as like you're dying. You I don't know, just got in a car wreck, or you just like fell off a train, I don't know. Something where it's like life or death. And maybe she was, I don't know. Anyway, I try not to think too much into it, just be like, okay, they'll get her taken care of, it's not a big deal. So I went there, they checked her, one of the nurses, when she first got there, weighed her, and they had weighed her at the doctor's office, and she was like 10 pounds 6 ounces. I remember that because I read it on the paper. They weighed her at the hospital, and the girl said the thing was saying like 8 pounds something, which she was 8'10" the last time she was at the doctor at 2 months old. So I was like, yeah, I don't think that's right. And she didn't think that could possibly be right. Gwen definitely didn't lose 2 pounds on the way to the hospital. That definitely didn't happen. She didn't like throw up at all on the way there, or nothing happened. Anyway, so we were there. She ended up getting an x-ray at the hospital to check her chest. They got some snot to test for like RSV and stuff. And they were actually really impressed when she was in the x-ray thing, because she didn't really cry at all. She started to fuss when they were like pretty much done with the x-ray, but she did really well. They were really impressed. I was really happy with her. She was so patient through all this stuff, because I ended up being at the hospital until like 1 something, and then I had to go a couple places. By the time I got home, it was like 2 something, and I fed her like 8:30, or finished feeding her about 8:30. Then we left the house around 9, didn't get home till like 2 something, and she didn't eat anywhere in between there. So she was so good. She was awake part of the time, she was asleep part of the time, and I'm just really impressed, really happy with her. But anyway, so we got the x-ray, and after waiting, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes, maybe it wasn't that long. It didn't feel like forever, but I don't know. Maybe it was partly because part of the time I was kind of entertained, because I'm a terrible person, but I'll tell you about that in a minute. But anyway, long story short, they ended up telling me that she does have RSV. I ended up they didn't give her a steroid shot or anything. They said at the office that they were going to do that, but the hospital didn't because they said that doesn't really help RSV, so that didn't happen. But I left the hospital at like 1 something, I think. I went and picked up a breathing treatment, like a breathing machine thing for Gwen. Then I went to CVS and got this medicine over here I showed you, and I stopped through McDonald's because I hadn't eaten. My coffee was still pretty much a full cup of coffee because I made coffee right before I left, figuring I'd drink it like a little bit on the way there to the office, a little bit on the way back from the office, and then drink it at home or whatever. I don't know, but it was definitely cold by the time I left the hospital. And then I got home. Sorry, this is so long. I got home, and the first thing I did was feed her because she hadn't eaten for like, I think my phone said like 7 hours. So I fed her, and then she kind of fell asleep again. And I got the breathing treatment thing put together, and then I gave her the breathing treatment, and then I gave her this other medicine over here that they didn't even tell me they were giving me, but yeah. And then I, halfway through feeding her, or giving her the medicine, I ended up dumping half of what was in there. And that's not saying much, because there's like that much in there, and there was only like double of that, and so it wasn't like full or anything. I didn't dump a whole lot, but it's half of what was in there. So that happened. So I'll have at least enough for today, I think, but it's supposed to be like 4 days, but whatevs. And then we just kind of went through last night. I gave her a second breathing treatment, and she ate fine last night, or well enough. I've been suctioning her nose, and she has her humidifier, and oh, I have those drops, the saline drops I've been giving her. So she's on the way towards the mend, but she has an appointment today, this morning at 10, so I'm going to try to, I have like 2 minutes now, I'm almost out of time. But she has an appointment this morning at 10, and but at the hospital, what I wanted to say real quick, when I was there, the entertainment, although I feel bad saying it was entertainment, because I did like pray a couple times for this little girl, but it was like watching a doctor show or something. I don't know. I'm a terrible person. You could say I'm a terrible person, but I'm also nosy. So these people came. Well, this guy came in first, and well, this is long enough, but I'll just say quickly then rather than explaining the process. But these 2 people, I don't know what relation they were to the little girl. I thought maybe they were her parents, but I don't know. I don't know who they were, because anyway, they brought this little girl in. She looked like she was like 2 or 3 maybe. The little girl didn't talk at all, but the dad, or the guy, whoever he was kind of freaking out, kind of worried and stuff. The mom, or the girl that was with the older girl, I guess, that was with the little girl, she was like hysterical. The little girl apparently had just randomly started like throwing up blood, or like spitting up blood, and when they were at the house, had on the way to the hospital, and probably still was at the hospital. I was seeing through like the reflection of a window, so I couldn't see the little girl super well. I just kind of saw them holding her, and her kind of sitting there. And I know that they eventually, by the time I left, they had at least decided, if not already done it, they were going to send her to Nationwide Children's Hospital in, I think, Columbus. And by the time I left, the lady that came in with the girl, she was talking to police. It sounded like maybe she like sped there or something, so they like a couple of police followed her and stuff, and she was trying to explain her situation. But just everything that was going on, it kept me interested, and it kept me from being bored. But I do feel bad for the little girl. I hope that she's okay. I prayed a couple times for her while I was there, because I just didn't know what else to do. But yeah, That happens. Sorry, my nose is suddenly very itchy. Okay, I'm gonna have to stop talking because I need to eat, and it's already past when I wanted to go upstairs and start getting her ready. So I will update you in, like, today is Friday now, but I'm gonna put this in the video with the last clip that was Thursday, and then I'll do a whole new vlog for Friday.